Hello YouTube land, my name is Cascade, and today I'm going to be showcasing you my BB Chieftain in Path of Exile. So, I'm going to preface this by saying Harvest is OP. Harvest is going away. Next league, you will not necessarily be able to get some of the equipment that I've been able to get. On that note, I mean, this is about 6 million Shaper DPS with a Cull. An on-demand Cull for the most part. And I'm also going to mention that this build is not yet finished. There's a lot of suffixes that I can add, and I'm even trying to change some prefixes here. I've basically am trying to min-max this build. However, I kind of stopped because I haven't really needed to. This build has cleared through Atlas. It's cleared Sirus probably about 10 times by now. This build specifically. I'm working on another build right now that I'm also going to be showcasing later this week, but this build is tanky, it's fun, and it explodes, which is what we want to see. I'm just going to run through this map, and then afterwards I will kind of explain my items or itemization, my skill tree, some of the choices that I made, etc., etc. So yeah, let's just... Oh, I went the wrong way. Basically, though, packs pretty much explode as soon as you dash into them. It is kind of nice, and it kind of brings me back to the one-tap days. I haven't actually done BB since 3 Dragons and 1-tap and Impulses, back with Elementalist before the nerf. So it does feel nice to play it, especially seeing as this actually has more damage than that version. Technically, more Shaper DPS anyway. Barrel Chambers. I haven't had any issues with pretty much anything other than Harvest bosses, but I feel like there's some kind of a weird interaction with Blade Vortex and Tier 4 Harvest bosses where it kind of lags out my screen. It has nothing to do with the fact that I don't have enough damage, it's just my screen lags for like 2 seconds for some reason with Blade Vortex and Explode Chest. But as, you know, as Harvest isn't necessarily going core right now, I don't think I have to worry about that next league. Like, this handles Delirium just fine, it handles pretty much, like, most things just fine. It's just, yeah, for some reason, Tier 4 Harvest bosses, even though they die pretty much pretty fast. Is that it? Yeah, it was. So that's just a quick rundown, and I didn't even Enduring Cry once beyond the initial just to gain my 5 endurance charges. Which, by the way, this build goes to 6, so you'd want to probably do it twice if you are in a sticky situation and you want that extra little bit of endurance charge. Anyway, let's go over some of my links, what I did, and why I did them. I should actually probably move around this type of stuff, because Enduring Cry no longer works, apparently, with Second Wind. That has another jewel right now, so I might need to switch that out, I think. I don't know. It used to work, and then it suddenly didn't, so I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Anyway, so a couple things to note. We're using Devouring Diadem. I haven't actually enchanted this one. I recently sold off another one, which had, like, Spark and some other stuff, which was a really good added bonus to... Well, I sold it off for, like, 3x, so I was like, okay, whatever. In here, we have Awakened Unleash, Awakened Fire Pen, Concentrated Effect, Blade Vortex, Intensify, and Elemental Focus. So even right there, we can upgrade Elemental Focus, and we could probably change Unleash if we really needed to for bossing, but I just feel comfortable with it, and that's how it is. Here, this is the bread and butter, all spells, all fizz spells, plus crafts. Technically, you can get something pretty close to this. It'll be about 70-80% the DPS, if not maybe a little bit higher, and it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper. Again, I crafted this because of Harvest Craft. Harvest Crafting is overpowered, but yeah, you could definitely create something close to this. Life on block, basically, fill out resists. Explode, Spider, active skills, fill out resists, etc., etc. Life, 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 life. Fill out resists. So just going to quickly over here, we are maxed out. Pretty much, anyway. I mean, we are maxed out. 75 up across the board, if not 77. But that's because we are equipping this one ring. We would be at 76 otherwise. We can technically get the other ring, which just adds damage with Herald of Ash. Haven't done it yet. I probably should. That would probably increase my DPS a bit, but whatever. It's fine. Alright, so we are the Elemental Overload variant, so no crits for us, and that's fine. This jewel, pretty easy to make this league because of phasing, or sorry, onslaught. It's an attack or a speed modifier, so you're able to basically slap it on there. Speed is a little bit rare, but that's fine. Here we have, again, phasing, so we have the added bonus to that. We have zealotry, increased damage. Now, keep in mind the only reason I'm using zealotry is because of this consecrated ground. I'm sure there are better ones, but this is what I landed, so I just kind of kept it. Cooked alive, smoking rains. Smoking remains, cooked alive. Simple. Widespread destruction, again, just for AoE and elemental. Elemental, elemental resists. More smoking remains. And that's just what was cheap when I had it. I'm sure there are better combinations, but this seemed to work really well. I am fully max block. I'm actually over max block quite a bit on just attack block, but that's okay. Glancing blows, again, just increase the block. And all your standard increase defense, increase life rate type stuff. So here we're going for Valico, Storm's Embrace. Again, life regen, extra damage for endurance charge lost, etc., etc. Gain endurance charge every second if you used a worker recently, which is what we did, and it's a nice quality of life. 100% to fire resists, which is why we don't have to worry about fire resist. We could just focus on the other ones. This one increases our damage quite a bit, so we need to maybe do something about that, because I don't think we're actually converting all of our physical damage over to fire. We're only converting 50%. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, maybe on a glove or something, which I can do. And then 1% fire damage leeches life, which is really nice for us. Cover unique in ash for 10 seconds on hit, which is really nice for us. Again, that increases our damage quite a bit, plus increased strength, which is always kind of a nice stat. Again, in our scepter, our trigger scepter, we have Armageddon Brand, Combustion, Culling Strike, and yeah, Second Wind, Dash, Enduring Cry, Blood Rage, which is nice for frenzy charges, Wave of Conviction, Immortal Call, Cast and Damage Taken, Herald of Purity, Herald of Ash, Zealotry, and Enlighten 3, because I didn't need an Enlighten 4. I thought maybe if I could grab an Enlighten 4, I'd have enough to probably stick in Flesh and Stone, but I don't. It's just a little short. I'd have to probably pick up these nodes, which is fine. I could probably smack or like remove a little bit of life somewhere to get those nodes, and it would be pretty damn good. Anyway, like I said, this is just a quick video to kind of showcase what this build is about. It's a pretty damn good build. Again, does Sirus 8 easily, does Guardians pretty easily. The Lightning one's a little bit difficult, but I always hate that one, to be honest, for Elder Guardians. Easy peasy. This I'm probably going to maybe do next league as well. Depends on what the league is, of course. And it'll be a shame that I wouldn't be able to get an explode chest as easily, but that is the way of things. Harvestcraft is very overpowered. Anyways, that's about it out of me. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, leave a like on the video, and don't forget the most important part, have fun. Leave comments. I will reply to every single one of them. Alright. Thanks, guys. Have fun.